Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Mwah. So what are you making, my love? I'm messing around with this zoom lens. This is kind of cool. What are you making?
I am going to make a butternut squash lasagna. It's going to be gluten-free because I'm using this organic green lentil lasagna, which I've used before, 11 grams of protein. So if you are plant-based vegan and people are saying, well, where are you getting your protein? You can let them know that there were 11 grams in the serving of lasagna you had.
Wow. And you're talking about just the noodles.
Just the noodles, not to mention we're going to omit any red sauces and make this, red sauce free.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people who can't have red sauce. I am not supposed to have it because of lime, and it is considered a nightshade, but I love it, so I often have red sauce. But I'm really excited about this butternut squash lasagna that I'm going to make with a cashew cream sauce.
Nice.
So the first thing I'm going to do is go over to my Ninja, where I have mixed 2/3 of a cup of raw cashews that I soaked in water. And then I put about maybe a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of hot water on top of it. I drained out the water I soaked it in. And so now I've got some very hot water in there with it, along with a teaspoon of Himalayan salt, a dash of pepper. Oh, the oven's ready. And a dash of cayenne pepper, because Jeffrey and I love everything spicy. You can leave that out, as well as a dash of nutritional yeast. So I'm just going to give that a quick blend. And let's see.
Yeah.
And that's that. And you can see it is a little bit on the watery side, which is okay. If you want it to be a little bit thicker, you can certainly use, oh, and I'm sorry, I had 3 cloves of organic garlic in here as well, and I noticed that the minute I open it, smell this, Jeffrey. It's so...
Oh yeah, it smells great.
It smells so great. And sadly, that's the end of our...
garlic during this quarantine.
But
although I did get the green light now, I can go out. We're not rushing out, but we got plenty. We'll survive.
So the first thing I'm going to do, and you can see if you get up close, it does look very watery, but it actually has a really nice thick consistency. So the first thing that I'm going to do is pour, and you can see I might be able to blend this a little bit more. I'm not going to, but if you don't like those pieces in there, you certainly can. And we're gonna put our first layer down. And so remember, that sauce is just these ingredients along with the garlic.
Do you need to zoom in on these ingredients? What do you got in there?
So
pepper,
we've got
salt. Go in the front first. Pepper, salt.
Cayenne, nutritional yeast, 3 fresh garlic cloves, 2/3 of a cup of raw soaked cashews, and some hot water. And that's the basis for this sauce. And then we are going to take our noodles, and we're just gonna lay them down. Nothing has to be perfect with lasagna. That's what I love about it. It's like...
everything's perfect about lasagna.
Everything's perfect about lasagna. It's kind of like whatever goes type thing. And then we have used a beautiful organic butternut squash. I left this side whole. I cooked the entire squash whole. You have to poke holes in it, otherwise it will explode in your oven. And I think I put it on for about 350 for about 45 minutes to an hour. But you can see this beautiful bubbling here. That's when you know it's done. You can also poke it with a fork. And we are just going to take, I have sliced it, and we're just gonna take these slices.
So it's basically just a layer.
Exactly. It's just, and they're a nice thickness. because you do want some substance. You know, lasagna is a really great comfort food.
Yeah.
And look how perfectly that worked out. I'm gonna stick these guys like that, okay?
Nice.
And then we are going to take another layer, right like that.
Okay.
Okay, and then the next layer, because I love to have color in my food too. So, and again, we're using what we have because this is coronavirus quarantine cooking.
Yeah,
so,
that's those chopped kale. I grabbed those 5 bags at Nashville Grocers like last minute. That was all. I think that was the only green frozen food we had that last day before.
And we have about a half a bag. This is a 10-ounce bag, so we have about 5 ounces left. And then we are also out of kale.
No.
So, I know.
That's a staple around here.
It is. So I'm just going to pour that in. I thawed it a little bit. It's totally not necessary to thaw it out if you don't want to. And then we are going to mix in. I've used this before. Again, I don't cook with this every day. I don't even use it once a week because I look at it as somewhat of a treat. But it's an almond milk ricotta style cheese, and it is absolutely delicious. And let's see, where did I put my head?
Are you mixing that in with the...
I am going to mix this in with our frozen...
Do you need a spoon or something?
I do need a spoon. I thought I had one over here,
I'll get you one.
Seems to have
right behind me here, I got one.
Yep. Okay. And...
There you go.
Usually I have Jeffrey... There we go. Open up all of my containers for me. I'm going to use this entire container because we definitely want a nice, creamy lasagna, especially since we're doing butternut squash, and that's just delicious. So that, again, the entire container of Kite Hill right there.
I'm gonna zoom in on that so they can see it again.
Yeah, and we're making this as simple as possible using the ingredients that we have in the house from quarantine. So, you know, almost everybody has some sort of a frozen green vegetable. I thought about using peas and blending them up because I thought that would be really beautiful color and texture, but we have about a teaspoon of peas left. You could certainly use any type of green vegetable that you like. Spinach would be fine. Kale, fresh kale, if you have it, would be fantastic. And then, because Jeffrey and I love everything just a little spicy, I'm sticking a little splash of cayenne pepper in this layer right here. That's it for that, right? I am just going to put this entire layer in here. We're gonna spread it out. And you know, it's just the 2 of us, so this will last Jeffrey and I probably 3 nights worth of dinner. If we have it for lunch too, maybe 2 days. But you could certainly double everything if you have a larger family. And oh, that is, I don't want to miss any of that deliciousness.
That looks good.
Right? Okay, and then we're going to put another layer on here. And I don't want to waste any of this beautiful butternut squash either. So I did slice the rest nicely, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to cover it up. Yep. So I'm just going to scoop the rest of it out on this very top layer here. Like so. And you know, I am one of those people, everything doesn't have to be perfect in the kitchen. I kind of like the rusticity of certain foods and certain cooking. I'm trying not to get the skin in here.
Although it is edible.
It is edible.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's the texture isn't as good.
Right.
But you can scrape out as much of that as you want. This is going to be really, really delicious. I can tell. I can just tell already. All right. And you can see, this is not really covering up the entire thing. So I happen to have some vegan, follow your heart, dairy-free Parmesan style cheese. So I am going to put some of that right on this layer here. And again, all because this is what we have in the kitchen, right?
Right. We're gonna make do. And you got some more of that cashew cream sauce.
I have some more of this cashew cream sauce. So I'm also going to put that there. And then I wanna save this last layer of the cream sauce. So I'm gonna put on one more layer of lasagna noodles. I'm gonna go the opposite direction.
Wow, crazy.
I know. And there we go. I've used the whole box. I'm gonna put that right in the middle. I'm gonna pour the rest of this right on the top. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be so good and something that we have
See, the layer's really nice down there.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend, you can see mine doesn't look as beautiful because I didn't grind it up enough. I think the real truth is I didn't soak my cashews for a full 2 hours. And you really do need to do that to make this as creamy and rich as possible. I'm gonna put the rest of this cheese on top, like so. And a little bit of cayenne on the very top because it looks pretty. This is gonna go into the oven. And if you'll remember from the last time we made a squash, we save everything and cook everything. So you can see in the oven here that, I'm gonna take these out.
Oh, the seeds.
The seeds have been cooked. Those do have some oil in them. Again, Jeffrey doesn't mind olive oil. That's sort of the way he likes them. And you can see actually the squash is still in there. Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
It crisps up almost like a candy, and then the salted.
Yeah, I like that.
And then the other thing that I have in here, I'm going to take these out as well. Everybody has probably a ton of chickpeas or garbanzo beans with the coronavirus. We have them on the stove soaking almost all the time. These have been soaked and cooked. And then what I did was you put a thin layer, just one layer, don't put them on top of each other, and bake them once they're already boiled and ready to eat. Bake them for about 35 to 45 minutes, and they're crispy and delicious.
Oh,
and
they're
it's
great.
a great little snack. So you
put a little salt on those too, don't you?
Salt, pepper, and of course, this is the Pearl House, so there's cayenne pepper on everything.
Okay, yeah, these look great.
Yeah, so this will go in here at 400 for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to keep an eye on that, and we will show you a picture when it's all done, but I can't wait to eat it. And that's it. Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love.
Great.